If we knew how to stop procrastinating, how much better off would our lives be? Instead of blaming ourselves for being lazy, we wouldn't be beating ourselves up. We'd be driving forwards towards our goals. We'd be more productive. We'd achieve more. We'd be more successful. We'd feel energized and driven to keep doing the things that are going to move us forwards and keep us moving forwards. But the point is, through procrastination, we can end up stuck in a bit of a spiral where the more we procrastinate, the worse we feel, and so the less likely we are to actually get anything done. So I want to give you a 5-step process that I've developed to really kick procrastination in the face and start actually moving forwards to achieve your goals. Now, first thing that we've got to do is we have to be absolutely crystal clear about the vision of where we're going. What is it that we're looking to achieve? Because if we don't know that, if we don't have that target set in stone, we don't know where we're moving to. And it means that any decisions that we make is kind of like we're wading through murky water. We've got no idea of where we're going. We're like a ship in the ocean with no sail, no rudder, just drifting aimlessly. So of course we're going to procrastinate because we have no target. We've got no direction. We need a target. All right. So step 1, get crystal clear about where you're going, what your vision is, what your target is. And step 2 is you need to put time into actually building a strategy, putting together a strategy of the steps that you're going to take in order to get there. What needs to happen for you to achieve that goal and achieve that target? All right, because so often we'll be building our to-do list, and it's literally just that. We're writing a to-do list, a list of random stuff that's not sorted in any order of priority whatsoever. And often we're doing it, again, without step 1, which is without a clear goal or direction of where we're actually going. So we've got to build that strategy that's going to enable us to move forward so we know what the highest impact activities are, all right? And that is number 3. So step 3 is learning to focus on the highest impact activities, the one thing that is going to move you closest to your goals. Now, there's a few different systems to do this, and I used to use Stephen Covey's important and unimportant 4-quadrant formula for managing your tasks in order of priority. But I've actually taken this one step further now, and I use something called an ICE rating, which I'm going to show you in a second, along with showing you a system that I use to absolutely get crystal clear about splitting up your tasks in a way that's easy to manage, that's going to enable you to ultimately move on to step 4. And step 4 is blocking out specifically in your diary time to actually go ahead and work on those tasks and make sure that you're avoiding distractions. You're in an environment where you're going to be able to focus on that task. All right? That's step 4. And then finally, step 5 is just to start. All right? We've just got to take that first step. Because often we'll be looking at the mountain in front of us, and instead of just taking it one step at a time, we're looking at the whole elephant. And it's like that old adage where you say, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is one bite at a time. And it's the same with procrastination. We've just got to get in the habit of taking that first step. We don't necessarily, have every intricate detail mapped out. We've got a plan, we've got a strategy, step 2, but we haven't necessarily figured out every single thing that's going to happen, and we just have to move forwards and trust anyway that as we start moving forwards, we're going to start getting a bit of momentum. This is how momentum works. When you start moving, it becomes a lot easier to keep moving than when we're stationary. That's Newtonian physics, right? An object in motion tends to stay in motion. So step 5 is just get in motion. We've just got to take that first step. Mel Robbins' 5-second rule is brilliant for this. Right? Basically all you do is you've got yourself ready, you've figured out your strategy, you've figured out your plan, you've isolated yourself from distractions, and you're ready to go. You're sitting down in front of your laptop, and you just count yourself in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just start. If it's writing a book, just start writing. Doesn't need to be perfect, doesn't need to make sense. When you just start writing, you'll start flowing, ideas will start coming. If it's, building a business, if it's writing a script, if it's figuring out a video content piece you're going to shoot, if it's figuring out how you're going to write a CV for your next job, maybe it's figuring out how you're going to set your goals or get crystal clear about your life plan. Whatever it is, just start, because when you start, it will start to get much easier. You will start to get in flow, and you will start finding that you're making progress, right? That's the 5-step formula. So to summarize, step 1, get crystal clear about your vision and your goal. Where is it you're heading? Step 2, build a strategy, a plan of action on the stuff that's actually going to move you closer. Step 3, focus on the highest impact activities first. Step 4, eliminate distractions, sit down, block out time in your day to actually focus on your goals, your vision, whatever it is you're looking to do to be productive. And finally, step 5, just start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, count yourself in. So now I'm going to show you, I'm going to dive onto the laptop and I'm going to show you the specific system that I use to manage myself, right? My day, my time, etc. It's called Trello. I love it. It's awesome. So let's dive in now and I'll show you how I do this along with the ICE rating for prioritizing tasks and stopping procrastination. All right, so we'll dive in now. Okay, so what we're looking at here is a system called Trello. Now, it is free. There is a free version and there is a version called Trello Gold. Now, the free version I was using with my entire team for probably about a year and a half. And even then, we've upgraded to Trello Gold, but it's not essential. It's just a kind of nice to have. So absolutely everything that I'm going to show you today is available on the free version of Trello. Now, the way Trello works is you have a board. Okay, so I have various different boards for different people in my teams or different, parts of the business or whatever. And in a board, you have lists. So these are lists. And then within lists, you have cards. Cards are tasks. All right, so at the moment, this looks quite confusing. There's a lot going on here, but it's actually pretty straightforward. So what I do, so I use something called an ICE rating, and I'm actually going to go ahead and create a brand new board so that you can see how this works from scratch. Just call this test board or whatever, or example board. And essentially the way that you want to split this up is I told you earlier in this video that I used to use Stephen Covey's 4-quadrant system for prioritizing tasks. Now, Stephen Covey's system consists of quadrant 1, which is urgent and time. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'll do it in the exact language that he uses. So it's important and time constrained. And then number 2 is important and not time constrained. Number 3 is not important and time constrained. And number 4 is not important and not time constrained. Okay, so what you're going to do is every single thing that's on your to-do list, you're going to go ahead and add it to these lists. Now, let's say, go to the dentist or something like that, or dentist appointment. That would typically be something in the grand scheme of your goals. If it's just like a routine dental checkup, it's probably going to be something that's not important, but it is time constrained, right? There's much more important stuff we could be focusing on in as we move forward to achieve our actual life goals and so on and so forth. Now, other things might be like, so important and not time constrained might be work on my goals and vision. Okay, you might have start learning, say you want to build an online business, you might want to look at affiliate marketing or, I can't spell, e-commerce, right? So all of these things, they're not time constrained. Like, you haven't booked in, you haven't got a deadline, you haven't got anything that means you have to do them by a certain point. And this is exactly why this column here is generally the most important column to focus your time and attention on. Because the stuff that's time constrained, so like work deadlines, project deadlines and stuff at work, or things that are already booked in your diary because they're time constrained, they're going to happen anyway. They're important, yes, but they're going to happen anyway. Now, what we'll often then spend our time doing is we'll do the quadrant 1 stuff because we have to. We'll do the quadrant 3 stuff because we have to. And then when we write to-do lists, we end up spending our spare time in this quadrant here, because this tends to be the quick, easy tasks, the stuff where we can tick them off a to-do list and it gives us a little hit of dopamine and it makes us feel good. Right? And this is one of the most dangerous areas to spend your time, because if you're spending your time in this quadrant here, you are taking your time away from this quadrant, and this is the one that is going to move you forwards. This is the one that really matters. Stuff that's not time constrained, but it is the high impact, important stuff. So you've got to put a priority into this column. Now, I take this a stage further, as I say, with something called an ICE rating. Now, an ICE rating is a way to identify the single highest impact thing that you can do right now to move you forwards. And ICE is an acronym, so it stands for I is impact, C is how confident are you that it's going to have that impact, and I'll explain what that means, and E is ease of implementation. Right? So, when you give something an ICE rating, it's saying the impacts of working on my goals and vision. Well, if I get crystal clear about this and actually start moving towards them, my entire life is going to change in every single way. I'm going to start creating some radical change in my life. So the impact potential of this is huge. 10 out of 10. Right? How confident am I that working on my goals and vision is going to have a major impact? Well, could ask yourself that question in relation to modelling others. Have other people who have worked on their goals and vision achieved the life that I want to live? Well, yeah, they're everywhere. You can follow them online on YouTube. Also, you could relate this through the lens of belief in yourself. You could say, well, you know, I know other people have done it, but I still have some doubts about myself. There's still, you know, some confidence areas there that I need to work on. So perhaps when you take all things into account, you just give this a figure of maybe, you know, you're pretty confident that working on your goals and vision is going to really have a big impact. And ease of implementation, well, it's not actually that hard to sit down and work on your goals and vision. You just need to intentionally put time into it. Yeah, it might take you a couple of hours to really start building a foundation. And then, of course, this is always an ongoing focus. We need to constantly focus on our goals, but that's a whole different thing, right? So ease of implementation, again, pretty easy. I've just got to set it aside. So let's say, you know, a 7 there. And so the way that an ICE rating works is you add up these 3 numbers, that equals 25, and then you divide it by 3 to get an average, right? So that's going to give you an average of 8.3, I believe. So that would be an ICE rating of 8.3. And what I tend to do is just write it at the start of my Trello card. And then you can have labels. You can, you know, create a label for different colors. You might do like a traffic light system or something like that. Maybe your high priority is the red here. So let's call this 8 plus ICE or something like that. Right, so this is for ICE ratings of 8 or above. And so what will happen is when you've written down your entire to-do list, everything that you can think of that you need to do, you get it in Trello. Everything. Get it out your brain and get it into this system. Because when you take it out your brain, you free up your mental capacity to focus on actually doing this stuff instead of just holding on to it in your mind, which is a constant drain of energy. Right, so you've got it down, you can start working on it. So get everything down. And when you've gone through everything and given everything an ICE rating, right? Let's say for argument's sake, the ICE rating for this was, I don't know, 7.6. What you'll then do is you'll rank your stuff in order from high to low. So highest impact stuff's going to go at the top. You want to focus your attention on column 2 from the word go, because this is the stuff that gets neglected, but it's the stuff that really matters. And then you want to focus on the highest ICE rating task first, whatever that is. Okay, and so when you've done the 5-step process to get crystal clear on your vision and goals, to start building a strategy, which is what we're doing here. Step 3, focus on the highest impact stuff first. Step 4, put intentional time, block time out in your diary. Sit down, eliminate distractions, turn your phone off, put it into airplane mode, get off social media, disable email notifications on your laptop, eliminate distractions. And then step 5 is just start. Got to work on your goals and vision, but I don't know where to start. All right, I'll just pull up a blank Google sheet. I'll pull up a blank Google Doc. I'll start writing stuff. I'll type into YouTube how to achieve my goals, how to work on my goals. You know, whatever it is, just start. Just start doing something. And as you start to get momentum and start working on this task, once you complete it, you focused on the next highest ICE rating thing, whatever that may be. All right, so I hope this process helps you. I hope this system helps you. I hope Trello helps. I know it's helped me. It's helped my team massively. And once you get all this down, it can really help you start getting that momentum and avoid procrastination once and for all. All right, thanks for watching, and I will speak to you in another video. Bye for now.